Man sits beside couple at game, 10 minutes later security appears. He was looking forward to enjoying the anniversary present his wife had gotten him. But he would never have guessed how much humiliation would come along with it. John relived the scenario over and over again. Eventually, he pulled himself together and approached the security guard, pointing the man out in the crowd. He didn't know that the security were well aware of the man. They were on high alert and prepared to swarm in the second anything went wrong. John Tremblay lived in Toronto, Canada his entire life. He was lucky in life, he had wonderful friends, an amazing family, and he was married to the girl of his dreams. Things couldn't be better. John never expected that one day he would have a camera shoved in his face with thousands of people watching him. It would be the most humiliating experience of his life. John was finally at a stage in his life where he could sit back and enjoy his retirement. He had spent his entire life providing for his wife, Jeanette, and their 3 beautiful kids. But they were all grown up now and living their own, separate lives. He missed his children, but he loved spending his days with his wife. But he had no idea what humiliation he would face, all because of an innocent anniversary present. Him and his wife had just celebrated 30 years of marriage. John surprised his wife with a beautiful chain necklace and told her that he was still as fond of her as he was 30 years earlier. But Jeanette's innocent present to John would end in confrontation with a stranger that local security were looking out for. For his entire life, John had been a huge basketball fan. He used to play the sport all the time when he was younger. When Jeanette heard that his favorite team would be playing in Toronto, she knew that tickets to the game would be the perfect gift. She never could have guessed who would have entered their lives because of this present. John was overjoyed when she handed him the tickets to see the upcoming Oklahoma City Thunder vs Houston Rockets game. The Oklahoma City Thunder were slowly but surely becoming his favorite team to watch and support. Now he could see them in person. He nearly lost it when he read that they were courtside seats. He was over the moon. If only he could have known who would be sitting next to them at the game. One player in the Oklahoma City Thunder team stood out to John. His name was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and John had a real soft spot for him. Gilgeous-Alexander was a Toronto native too. But John had no idea what consequences the game would have on his time and his entire life. The freezing day finally arrived and John and his wife had gotten dressed in their winter clothes to keep warm. They arrived to the Toronto stadium, both buzzing with excitement. John grabbed chicken and waffle sliders from a vendor, excited to enjoy his favorite snack. Then him and Jeanette took their courtside seats. They were ready for the bug game. But that was when they noticed all the cameras and security around them. It was a lot more than usual. What was going on? John noticed the grumpy-looking man next to him. He seemed unamused by something. John turned to the man and offered him one of his chicken and waffle sliders in an attempt to loosen him up a bit. The man simply smiled at John. 10 minutes later was when John noticed the security guards that were watching him. He wondered if he had incriminated himself by simply talking to the man that was sitting next to him. He looked at the man again. Had he seen this man before? He recognized him from somewhere. He thought he recognized him from a news segment about a man on the run. Was that why the security were watching him? John would usually let these things go, but he decided that he had to do something in case the man was dangerous. He told his wife to stay safe before walking up to the nearest security guard. He had to let him know who the man was. But he couldn't have guessed that the situation would end with thousands of eyes on him. The security guard seemed on edge when he mentioned the man and gestured towards him. John could see the concern in his eyes. They were definitely there for the man. John could see it now. It was clear now that all the security was there for the man in question. But why hadn't they done anything yet? Did they not want to cause a scene? But John wasn't ready for the real truth behind everything. He had no idea that he would be put in a situation that would change his entire outlook on life. The security guard revealed that he was no other than Drake. Drake had been unamused by all the attention he was getting up until that point, but loved the idea that there was someone who didn't know who he was. He smiled at John and asked the videographer to come closer so everyone could get in on the fun. He called John his new friend and explained who he was. John felt a little embarrassed at first, but laughed it off with Drake, who was very friendly and seemingly happy for the change of pace. He had no idea who Drake was up until that moment. He just wanted to enjoy his anniversary present and watch the Oklahoma City Thunder and, more importantly, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play. Funnily enough, Gilgeous-Alexander was Drake's longtime friend and one of the only reasons the celebrity was at the game. Drake smiled ear to ear after John fatefully asked him, "Are you famous or something?" It's a moment that no one will forget. Drake must be so used to crazed fans and constant attention from the paparazzi that he was certainly happy for someone to not recognize him in a world where everyone often does. He took a selfie with John and Jeanette with the caption, "My new parents."